And Janet Diane Moya Swordlow.
And this is the Expansions News Podcast for the last week of July 2016. And, do you want to say anything?
Eventually.
Yeah, okay. Because I was trying to, prevent you from interrupting, but okay.
But I did say my name already.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
So they know who I am now.
Yeah.
So
but does anyone really know who you are?
No, that's parts too, but I have been properly introduced, so I think it's your turn,
Okay,
generally
I have a
speaking.
very serious story.
I know, well, so I don't know why you interrupted yourself.
Because I was just expecting you to, I guess. I don't know.
You were expecting you to interrupt
Anyway,
yourself.
back to me.
Which is where we were anyway. Go ahead.
So, we all know what happened in Munich this week. An Iranian, they call him a German Iranian. He was Iranian, by the name of Ali David Samboli, who was only 18 years old, who killed 9 people and then supposedly himself. 6 men and 3 women were shot, all between the ages of 13 and 45 at the Olympia Shopping Center.
Okay, now I have to interrupt you.
What?
Because he was 18, which is a 9. He killed 9 people, which is a 9, and 3 plus 6 is a 9.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
13, and 13, the youngest was 13.
And the oldest was 45, which is a 9.
Yes, exactly. They're calling him, and I quote, a mentally ill loner who went on a murderous rampage and deliberately targeted young people in revenge for years of being bullied. Now, I don't know if this is going to be able to be posted on the podcast or not, but I received pictures from Germany of a security camera that was across the street from the mall. And the security camera had 1 second intervals of a car passing by, and you can see what was going on behind it. And in this sequence of pictures, 1 second, the first second, this Ali was not there. Then 1 second later, he was standing in front of the, well, it's like he just appeared, materialized. So people who are watching this in Germany think that this was some kind of a blue beam project or some kind of holographic image going on. And remember, people, for the longest time while this was happening, it was being reported 3 shooters. 3 shooters. Then, when it's all over, and guess what? He wasn't there at the end. They said it was a police shootout with the shooter. But the body was found, or this kid's body was found 2 kilometers away from the mall, and they said, well, he killed himself. Well, then why was there a shootout, and how did he get there so quickly, and what happened to the other 2 shooters? Now, this kid is standing there with a Glock 17 semi-automatic handgun, shooting at a table of people. So did they all just sit there and wait to get shot? Or did anyone try to leave or hide or run away? Did anyone try to grab him? Doesn't make sense, people. They also said that he hacked a teenage girl's Facebook account and invited her friends to join her at the McDonald's for free food. Okay, so if he's been bullied and people know about him and they don't like him, why would they go to a mall to get free food from him?
Well, no. He said that he hacked this girl's account and she invited them.
That's not what it says in my thing.
Well, you just said that.
Invited her and her friends.
No, he hacked her account and then it made it look like she was inviting her friends.
It's not what it says on my thing here. But then, of course, we have Angela Merkel, who said Germany mourned with a very heavy heart. Well, let's let more refugees in to Germany. And they called him a deranged loner who told his friends, the very few friends and people at school, that he will kill all of them. He says, I quote, I will kill you all. So then why didn't the people he said this to go to the authorities or to the school authorities and report this? They said he was obsessed with computer games and called himself godlike and psycho. Well, that's a little bit of a clue. And that he became so increasingly threatening and aggressive online that he was banned from many of these chat rooms. So why didn't people notify the police or other agencies that this person was like this? They found in his apartment, which they said cost €1,500 a month, where he lived with his parents, a collection of documents about spree shootings. Well, did his parents ever look in his room? They also found a book called Why Kids Kill and Inside the Minds of School Shooters.
There's such a book?
Apparently. So his parents didn't know that this was going on. Now, this, as an aside, he was on a forum called Steam, which I have seen that before. I don't really know what Steam is, but just by the implication of it, it would promote anger and confusion, I would think. But local people described him as a quiet guy. Isn't that what they describe all the shooters? They're so quiet, we never would have imagined.
But it's interesting, like what you said, they said 3 shooters. Every single one of these events starts with several shooters, and all of a sudden it goes to one.
Yes, right.
In beginning with President Kennedy.
Yes. Now, he boasted about wanting to kill people in a massacre, and nobody said anything. In this day and age, with all these things going on, this kid says things to people publicly, and nobody reports this.
They arrest little tiny kids at elementary schools for making joke about those things, even. We read about it.
And here's another clue. He changed his WhatsApp profile picture to the infamous mass murderer Anders Breivik, who killed 77 people in Norway on the 22nd of July 2011. So it was on the 5th anniversary, and this was not a red flag to anybody. He also admired German killer Tim Kretschmer, who was also only 17, who killed 15 people at a school in Winnenden in southern Germany in 2009. Now, again, I'm going to reiterate here. Security camera picks up nothing, and then one split second, there's a person there with a gun. It's not possible to have walked into that area in 1 second. Second, people reported 3 shooters, not 1. They found his body far from the mall and said he killed himself, but they also said he was in a shootout. And it was obviously a staged event. How could anyone, an 18-year-old who never used a gun supposedly before, and got it in the mail, by the way, kill 9 people when everybody just sits there and looks at him and no one does anything? The whole story is absolutely bizarre.
Did they say where it came from, this gun that he got in the mail?
Just a mail order gun. Now, in Germany, they don't let freaking vitamins in, but a Glock 17, they allowed to be delivered.
Yep.
Makes sense to me.
Many years ago when we were selling vitamins, we had
Yeah.
vitamins returned to
Right,
us.
the
for that
Germans
reason.
won't let vitamins in, but guns they'll let in to an 18-year-old. Right,
I
perfect.
don't think so. And even when we
Nothing
send
wrong
books,
with that story.
we send books or we send other things, and the customs people always open everything. Sometimes they make sure I have receipts. I mean, they are so thorough with just books.
Especially in Germany.
Any European country. I had this with
EU, most
Yes.
EU countries. Anyway, let's switch gears now and look at Israel. Because, interestingly, Israel's foreign minister says that a senior official has met with a former military general from Saudi Arabia. And the Director General Dori Gold met with Anwar Eshki in a Jerusalem hotel, and Eshki is currently the head of a Saudi Arabian think tank in Jeddah, and has very close ties to the kingdom's rulers. Now, officially, Saudi Arabia and Israel don't have diplomatic relations, and yet this guy comes to Jerusalem and meets openly with these people at a hotel. And unofficially, it says that Israel has grown closer to Saudi Arabia recently because they both don't like Iran. And this may lead, and I've heard this before, but I'm going to say it here, that this could be the beginning of a coalition between Israel and many Arab nations, because if Saudi Arabia is doing this, all the other Arab nations follow the lead of Saudi Arabia, and they will most likely do the same thing. And I reported last week and the week before about even a Somali leader has met with the Israelis. So a lot of stuff going on. Now, just a little bit to the northwest, let's go to Europe. And there was a report today in the news that says NATO must prepare for an overnight Russian invasion of Poland, and the U.S. must ship missiles to the region. Well, that diffuses everything,